Terry Tennant, he's had a pretty busy summer. He's been sharing some clips and photos of his racing throughout the summer. This is at a state race, Terry. I forgot where this is, but Terry's making quick work of the main event here. He's looking really good, rocking that Babs frame and fork. Actually, I'm sorry, the Babs frame, Bay Area BMXers. It's a sweet looking frame. I actually went on their website and checked it out. And he's got those titanium handlebars on there, which I forgot who made those for Terry, but great race for Terry. And then he sent me this other clip where he's at an actual pump race. It's just a straightaway. There's a few obstacles and just a full-on sprint, and that was just basically tailor-made for Terry. Pretty much dominated that. Here's some great still photos that Terry did share with me. I love that yellow and Tennant jersey with the Boss logo on it. Looks very, very cool. He's got the goggles on top with the sunglasses. That's the first time I've seen Terry in second. These are just great shots. And there's the man himself. Thanks a lot, Terry, for sharing these. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It's magazine night tonight. I'm pretty excited. I did dig up June 1983 BMX Action. This one's a little bit on the older side, and it's definitely missing a few pages because I was going through it, and immediately I noticed that the inside cover is completely gone, and along with the table of contents. So I can't get the table of contents, so I had to do a little bit of research. And on the cover of this magazine, though, which I'll go ahead and superimpose it right here, but it is Mike Dominguez, and it looks like he's at a skate park. He's doing a one-hander, one-footer, and he's kind of in a tabletop position. He's doing a flatty. It looks like he's wearing Haro colors, but he's got Max pants on, and he's wearing checkered slip-on Vans, which I think is super cool. That was the rage in the early 80s, plus his entire pad set is checkered. He's got on the leather Oakley gloves, and it looks like it's possibly a Haro frame. I mean, it's my best guess because I can't really tell from the angle. Definitely rocking the Skyway Tough Wheel 2s. And he's got that Bob Haro style bell helmet on, which Bob had released recently, which actually brings me to the next subject. When I was at, we'll get into this magazine in about 2 seconds, but when I was at Dirty Fest, Bob Haro was there, and he was releasing his newest bike, which is the Iconics. And this is the handout that everybody was able to take. I was taking a look at this bike. I know he's got a race bike probably coming out as well, if I remember correctly. But I love the geometry on this bike. Obviously, this is a freestyle bike, and this bike, guys, does not come cheap. And even Bob said, hey, I know it's expensive, but it's very, very expensive to produce the frames. And I can see why. I mean, look at the quality of this bike. I cannot wait to see what the race frames look like. I absolutely can't wait. It's got the Skyway Tough 2 graphites on there with the cassette freewheel in the back. Everything about this is freestyle, but totally appropriate for what Mike is building. So now when you flip, what Bob built. When you flip it over, it gives you more of the specs. 21.5-inch top tube, 74.5 degree head tube, 71 degree seat tube, 13.5-inch chainstay, 11.8 inches on the bottom bracket height, 36.45-inch wheelbase. And the frame weight is 5.2 pounds with a fork weight of 2 pounds. That's a little bit on the heavy side. But remember, this is a freestyle bike. It's not a race bike, so it's built for strength. The fork weight, like I said, 2 pounds, and it's 4130 chrome moly, CNC machined. Such a cool looking bike. Such a cool bike. There was no way you could take the bike down and ride it. He had it on a stand, and I've got some of it in my video from Dirty Fest. You can take a look at that. But and there's some other footage where he launched it. He launched it the night before. They had an official launch for it. It says founded by. Let's read about this. It's Iconics. It says founded by BMX legend and Hall of Fame inductee Bob Haro, Iconics Bikes merges with rich heritage with an innovative design spirit to deliver premium bicycles and accessories crafted for today's riders. The FS1 marks the beginning of a new era. BMX bikes from Iconics. This is pretty cool. We are committed to elevating the riding experience through timeless design and advantage manufacturing technology while honoring and enduring the legacy of BMX culture. So cool. So cool. I love it. Like I said, It's a freestyle bike, and I can't wait for this race bike to come out. I'm going to hang this up in my garage along with all my other BMX memorabilia. That's definitely going up. I might frame it actually and put it in my office. I don't know. But I almost forgot it. I had to go back and get it. I left it in the booth in the BMX Experts podcast booth. I had to go back and I go, oh no, I forgot my thing, and it was covered in dust. So I had to like do all this number because there was so much dirt and dust in the air. But so cool. Okay, let's get into the magazine. All right, we'll set this aside for a second. All right, so first page. This is, like I said, I don't have the inside cover of the table of contents, but let's talk about this. This is the Huffy Pro Lightning. Lightning strikes twice. I remember this bike very, very specifically, and here's why. I used to play Little League up until I played 3 years of baseball, and I remember it was around 1983, and I rode my bike over to my grandmother's house. I was riding a race bike at the time, and I think it was like my Panda Pro-Am replica or something like that. Anyway, I got to the baseball field, and I went to go watch my old baseball team play. And one of the kids that was on my team had rolled up on one of these. And I go, oh, wow, you got a new bike, huh? He goes, yeah, check out my new BMX bike. And he was looking at my bike up and down, and my parts were kind of mismatched. It didn't look the greatest, but I had a definitely better quality bike than this one. And he goes, I'll race you right now. And I go, are you sure you want to race me? He goes, yeah, I'll race you. And a couple of the kids came out, and we raced like in a straight line, and I smoked that kid. But still, pretty cool looking bike for what it was. You know, I imagine this thing was well in the $100 range. And look at it, even came with a 09 number plate. So pretty cool. I love the seat on it. The color combinations, got the kind of the Aero style forks, kind of like a Skyway or a JMC. The frame's chromed out, definitely not chromoly, but it came with the 09. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Huffy Pro Lightning, blend of raw power, dyno looks, and space age technology. Ready to fly with a streamlined flowable frame and fork. Very cool. It's kind of forward thinking for them. Pro Lightning bikes are competition certified for BMX Racing California Light pad set. Wow, it came with California lights. Competition cranks, well, one-piece cranks. At least they're a little bit longer. They look like they could be 175s. Amy grips. Oh, let's go, Huffy. Okay. Grips, large flange hubs. Very cool. Top of the line Pro Lightning Chrome Moly and Dyno models have aircrafted 4130 Chrome Moly frame and fork. Holy crap, guys. I didn't realize it was Chrome Moly. Okay, I thought it was mild steel. Alloy caliper brakes and an Aero teardrop rims. Be the first to experience the most innovative bike to hit the tracks or street, Pro Lightning. All right, let's give it to Huffy. Here's why. Chrome Moly frame, front and back brakes, 09 plate, and even California Light Johar pad set. Very, very cool for a store-bought bike. Love it. Okay, let's crack into the magazine. Oakley B1Bs. This magazine, guys, looks like it is about to fall apart, so let's be ultra careful. These grips rank up as some of my favorite grips of all time, definitely. I remember when they released these grips, I actually had a set of these grips. Let's put the bike right there. I had a set of these grips for a little while, but I always went back to the Amy's. Amy's were just much more affordable, and these, not that they were super expensive, but let's face it, once these are torn, they're gone, and they were more expensive than Amy's, so I usually went back to Amy's, but people love these grips, and they're very collectible at this time. Ooh, look at the hot shots with Stu Thompson. This is a great, great shot. Let's take a look at this one. He's on factory redline. I don't know what redline he's riding in this particular photo shoot, but it is very, very cool. Photos by Bob Osborne, and it's just simply mighty Stu. It doesn't have to say anything else. Everything about this shot about these shots is epic. We got the Predator bike by Schwinn. It's the only Predator puts this all together for $299.95. So pretty good. You get a lot for $299 for $300. Complete with Sagino Maxi Cross cranks, which were completely alloy. You've got the Araya 7X wheels with Diacomp MX 900s. You got the Viscount Aero saddle along with Shimano DX levers. Wow, this thing was loaded with good parts. pretty cool looking bike for what it was. $299.95, looking good. And my buddy Kevin, hey Kevin, it's got V-line handlebars on it. I know you love those. I'm just messing with him. He hates those. We got our typical JT ad for 1983, and of course Toby Henderson's the poster boy for that. And I love everything about JT. I was looking through, JT actually, guys, is still manufacturing products. And I looked it up, and now it just keeps popping up on my Facebook and Instagram. And they have 90s throwback race colors and things like that. Most of it's really made for motocross now, but it looks really, really cool. I still think, and this is just my opinion, the fit and design of the original ones here is better than the stuff that you can get today. That's just my opinion. Okay, let's keep going. I mean, look how these pants fit, guys. Does that, look at that. It fits perfect. It's not baggy, loose. It's meant for BMX. It looks great. This great shot of Brent Patterson here and Greg Hill. And it's funny to see these two guys doing this ad together, because I recently rewatched that episode of Greg Hill on the Dirty Knobs podcast. And the funny thing is Greg had a major dispute with Brent in the 1980 ABA Grand. So it looked like, the story goes like this. Apparently, they moved Brent up to a semi that he didn't qualify for, according to Greg. Brent made it to the main and eventually beat Greg. I think Greg went down. I can't remember the total details of it, but it's a very, very interesting story. I definitely recommend going back to the Dirty Knobs podcast and re-listening to that, or listening to it if you haven't done so already. Greg's been on Dirty Knobs podcast probably like 3 times now, and every time he goes on there, it's just great. I've watched all of his interviews at least 3 times. That's how good they are. We got the Robinson ad over here. Look at Danny Nelson. He's only 8 years old. I wonder what a guy like Danny thinks about when he pulls open an old magazine and he goes, my whole childhood was in BMX magazines. There I am right there. That must be really, really cool for him to see that. If people go, what did you look like when you were little? I go, I don't know, open up that BMX magazine. You literally see me grow up into a pro. That is really, really cool. I love the throwback to Star Wars, by the way. So very, very cool. Oh, look at this hot shot. Mike Polson getting critically sideways, photo by Bob Osborne. Interesting that the hot shots are in the early portion of the magazine. Normally you don't see stuff like that until you get to the last couple of pages. So that's pretty cool that they threw that in there early like that. Mike Polson, probably one of the only riders that got on one factory team and stayed there. I don't know Mike's team history other than Schwinn, so I could be completely wrong. But if you think about it and you compare it to something that everybody can relate to, think about Michael Jordan being on the Chicago Bulls. Pretty much that was the only team he was on until he made that comeback, right? And he was on whatever that other team was called. I'm drawing a blank right now. But pretty cool if you think about that he just stuck it out with one team, and he was kind of a franchise rider, if you think of it that way. I believe this is John Pyatt, Factory Huffy right here. This is a very, very cool shot. And I love Huffy pushing the sport. We see the one full page for the Pro Lightning. Now we have John Pyatt, and they're selling the actual Huffy jersey, and it's his national team at Toys R Us. So very, very, very cool. I love where Huffy was going with this, attracting riders to the sport. It's very, very cool. All right, let's keep going. The Kuwahara laser light test. This is awesome. This shot is great. I know there's no rider involved. I don't know who the hell put the Kuwahara up there. That's really cool. Let me move it closer in case you guys can't see it, but look at that. How awesome is that? That looks like it could be the Grand Canyon. I don't know where the heck they are, but that is really, really cool. Clint Miller, we got a chance to talk to Clint, Kevin and I, when we were at Dirty Fest, so that was really cool. And this looks like it is, yeah, that's Mike Buff. Classic styling, that's Betty Buff's number 4 son aboard the new Laser Light. The Laser Light was no joke. That bike was top of the line. We're going to look at that in a second. Oh, look at this shot of Clint. Wow, this is definitely going in the intro, guys. Stylish and graceful Clint Miller. Very, very cool shot. A lot of things about this I like. I love the gear pants. The Kuwahara emblem is right here on his shin. Perfectly matches the Kuwahara jersey. The Echo open face helmet with the Haro visor, Oakley gloves, and JT Racing Jofa style mask. Perfect. Perfect. He's got the JT Racing gloves on. So if you think about it, Clint's wearing a lot of gear from different folks. Vans, Gear, Echo, Haro, JT, but it doesn't matter because he coordinated absolutely everything together. Great shot, and possibly one of my favorite number plates there in the Haro flow panel. Complete bike price for the Kuwahara Laser Light, $450, and it only came in chrome. 24 pounds and 11 ounces for the complete bike. I believe my current race bike is 22 pounds, and race bikes can be much, much lighter. I just don't have all the carbon fiber, so I'm very old school still with my builds, and I think I'm just going to basically stay that way. I don't know who marked up the magazine, but somebody was marking up the magazine. Again, this is one of my cousin James's magazines. I talked to him the other night, and I said, "Hey James, I'm really getting down to the end of it, dude. I'm going to be returning your magazines pretty soon." Great shot here. It looks like RL getting rad here. He's kind of got the Harry Larry style going on right here. And then we got Mike Buff here watching. Very, very cool shot. Max Racing pants, Bell helmet. Very, very cool. RL Aero. He's rocking the Aero pants here on the back with the Vans. Gotta love it. Once again, we got the same sort of brake setup. Diacomp added a centering device to their MX lever. And it says, "It's that screw spring jobber by the brake bracket. Works good." Oh, that's pretty cool. You can see you can adjust the brakes now here with this little dial. I don't know how good that worked. I don't remember. I know I had those brakes though. Sorry guys, I had to take a drink of water. All right, let's move on to the next page. We're doing good. This is a great magazine so far. Oh, wow. Okay, so this bike is super dialed in. I love it. I'm not a big fan of the laid back seat post, but the bike itself looks like it's got Comp 2s on it. The 83 Kuwahara Laser Light gussets are gone, so we have no gusset here in the front anymore. And it says CG is higher. Lots of trick stuff has been added. This bike is near perfection. I'd like to see a longer front stem, definitely. And I would love to see a straight seat post as opposed to the laid back seat post. But other than that, beautifully done. Well done, Kuwahara. Well done. This would be a cool bike to see make a comeback because all these retro bikes are coming back. I'd love to see something like that. Very, very cool. Clint Miller's training program. They talked about his roller starts, practice weights, stretching, and diet. Very, very cool. Clint was one of those guys that was definitely a musclehead back in the 80s. It's a pretty great picture. Love it. We've already took a look at his gear. And let's keep on going. Oh, here we go. The Suntour XC1 pedals, still one of my favorite pedals to this day. They rate a 10. The 400 series flight cranks fit on a tapered 10-speed spindle. Oh wow, that's a trip. Instead of the Redline spline spindle, keeps the price down some. Oh, I see what they did. So rather than using the basic sprocket that would have come with the Redline flights, they went with this spindle and just a regular chain wheel on there. And it looks super trick. I mean, I love that they put the Redline flights on here, guys. Look at that. Look how freaking clean that looks. Redline flights, again, still one of my favorite cranks. We got an IRC ad here with a Comp 2 style tire and all the power light handlebars that were available. Pro, Junior Pro, MX, Junior, and Minis. Looks pretty good. Let's keep going. Here we go. Product analysis. This is the Haro Freestyler. Functional, innovative, stylish, specialized, and seizurally expensive. Okay, so let's take a look. This is awesome that we're looking at this magazine. Guys, this was not done intentionally, but let's just do a side-by-side comparison. Wow, this was totally an accident, by the way. You've got the Haro frame and fork from 1983 versus the Iconics from Bob Haro 2025. Just let that soak in for a second and take a look on how far times have come. The general shape of the bike, as you can see, is pretty similar. When you look at the top tube on how that drops down like that, that portion's pretty similar. But other than that, you can see how much time has gone by and how advanced things have become when you look at the old versus the new. But this is awesome. I'm so glad I brought this out. It was just random that I brought that out, by the way. All right, let's keep on going. Megalocks. And then this looks like something that would go in a car. I think I made that mention before. Ooh, look at this. Ross BMX machines. Great ad from Ross. I mean, they took an entire 2-page ad to create this. I've seen this one before, and I know I've commented on it. An MX program for the rider who rides. Ross. They got the 142THX, which is the basic entry level. MX Time, which comes with the alloy cranks and all the black anodized parts along with the Aero Cashamax seat. Very, very cool, and is considered the top of the line. And then, of course, the 230ZFX. Very, very cool. Love it. The Aero pants with the Ross jerseys, full face helmets. Everything looks really cool. I think this shot right here is cool with these guys all bonsaiing down the back of this sandy hill. We got a good water berm shot right here. I love this. I love this ad. Very, very cool. Let's keep going. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let me correct myself. I said that I thought that Dominguez was on a Haro. He's actually on a Torker, but that's a pretty good guess by me because I believe Torker made the Haros for Bob. And this is a great shot. Pictorial of Mike Dominguez. He's on the cover of the magazine. Check out that uni seat there. That's the original uni seat. I love that one. I had this seat and I had a uni turbo, so I went through both of them. I snapped the uni turbo, but I never broke this one. It was actually on my CW Cruiser all the way up to the day I sold it. It just never broke. Age 14 at the time. Skate park ability was awesome. Let's see. His status was current points leader of the King of the Skate Park series. So that's really, really cool. Really cool. That's great that the bicycles made their way into the skate parks. I think that was a great thing for BMX. Although it wasn't race related, I still think it impacted the sport in a positive way. Just to see all this national coverage for these guys. Let's keep on going. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this pictorial with Mike. He's coming out of the bowl right here. Looks like he's going to go into like a 360. He's halfway right here. Yeah, he's going to do a full 360. That's amazing. Great shot. I thought he was going to tap the rear tire and spin, but he did a full 360. This is an epic shot right here. This one's great. That's definitely going in the intro. That's really, really good. All right, we got the Simpson helmet, which you've seen before, which I think I made a comment that was really, really expensive. But this is one of my favorite ads of all time for Mr. Buff. Making history. Everything about this, I love it. The 09 handlebars. He custom cut the CW handlebars. He custom cut the 09 plate to fit the bars specifically. Most of us just kind of folded it over, like I said before. He's got Terry cables on both sides. He's rocking the Bell helmet with the JT mouth guard and the mirrored goggles. Awesome. Bubble visor, 09 in between the snaps. Very well placed stickers, and of course BMX Action. He's got the SE Racing pad, 09 patch there, the 09 patch there. JT gloves, I've had these gloves too. Those things were so good I couldn't feel my grips. This is great shot. I love it. Okay, let's put the magazine back the way it goes. And we're doing great. Let's go to the next page, guys. Oh, some more ads here. Tearing up the track. Command post. Bear trap, the unique headset from Tioga. One thing about 80s headsets, guys, is that they always came loose. Crank it with your hand. That was pretty normal situation for me. Oh, check it out. Buff on the Race Incorporated 24-inch Racing Cruiser kit. Very cool. Very cool. I love the Alina seat with the lightning bolt on there. This bike right now, guys, if Race Incorporated dropped this bike right now, I think it would be super, super popular because we all know the big bikes sell like hotcakes. And this thing is pretty awesome. It's definitely awesome. Void of three-piece cranks, but other than that, fully raceable bike for the time, 1983. Love it. Love those racing pads, by the way. And we had this debate on on the BM Experts podcast. Is it Race Incorporated or Race Inc? Because nowadays everybody says Race Inc. Back when we were kids, Race Incorporated. And that's what we all said. So kind of weird. I guess it's tomato at this point. Great one-handed thumbs up. Got the great Torker ad right here. And here's your Dave Marietta, Kelly McDougall, and Steve Gibson. Factory Kuwahara. Love the Gators against the white Vans. Looks very, very cool. Something about these thick welds that you would see on a race ink along with the PK Rippers, and I love that look. Always have, always will, and it's still popular to today. Great ad with Mr. Larry on the Diamondback team with the Porsches in the background. We've seen this one before, and it's very, very cool. Don't know about those. ProTech helmets, big in the early 80s, late 70s. These things weighed almost nothing, and they were very, very affordable. This was the helmet of the novice. I'll put it to you that way. All beginners and novices love to run that helmet. We got the Hutch ad here. This is a great ad here. Everything on this in this particular ad is so expensive right now. Nothing in here is cheap. I mean, even back then it was expensive, and it's even more expensive now if you're going to dare try to be a collector and put together some Hutches. But I love them. Never owned one. I wish I would have, though. Let's keep going. Oh, check it out. We got an interview with Tommy Bracken's factory power light at the time. Let's see. He was born in 1960, 5'11", 170 pounds, and he's from Los Angeles, California. Bikes raced was a Redline, a Jag, and a Powerlight. Major wins was the 82 Springfield National. He won Pro Money, Tucson National Pro Money, Irvine National Pro Money, and introduced to BMX by the legendary Anthony Sewell. Very cool. Most respected rivals is Greg Hill, Stu Thompson, Mike Miranda, and he was a local racer at the Harbor BMX in San Pedro. Most memorable experience, doubling at both the NBL and the NBA Grand Nationals in 1980 in the 16 expert class. So very cool. I won't read everything, but very cool. Talks about his training, and then it gives some personal background about his parents, brothers, sisters, outside interests, and so forth. So very, very cool. I'll definitely be rereading that later. MT Racing with the Silver Fox and the Smart Fox. Very cool entry-level bikes, and I think very, very raceable. Oh, right, here we go. This is my favorite stuff, as we all know, is the race stuff. We're at the Winter Nationals in Chandler, Arizona. Great shot here of Mike Polson and the absolute commander of BMX in the 80s, Mr. Greg Hill, Factory GT. This is a great shot for a lot of reasons, because let's just look at the product placement for a second. Again, the Haro flow panel and the ABA IBMXF World Championship. He lettered right here. I believe, if I'm correct, the ABA would not allow him to run the World Champion #1 plate, and I think that's why he just had it with the number 8 on there. I think. I'd have to verify. Love the Haro wet weather gloves with the two-toned Vans here, blue and white, to match the GT colors with the blue and white here. And of course, Greg came out wearing the factory Haro pants, which is so crazy to think about it, because you got Haro and GT kind of doing one thing, because this was before Haro was manufacturing its own bicycles. But a very, very good shot nonetheless. He's got the goggles up on the helmet with the Haro Moto Peak visor and the JT Jopa as well. Very, very cool. Zap pads. You gotta love those, and I love the Chrome Molly GT. Can't beat it. We got Toby Henderson tucked behind here with the hutch, and then we've got the it looks like Joe Bomber is here, excuse me, running the Aero colors. It looks like he doesn't have a sponsor at the time, but he's definitely fast if he's mixing it up. And we got Stu Thompson tucked here behind Greg. This is just an awesome shot. Scott Clark's in there. That must be Scott right back there, Factory Murray. So I see a Skyway rider tucked away back here. It's probably Madrano, I would assume, but very, very cool shot nonetheless. Okay, let's keep going. Oh man, this one's even better. We got Brent sitting out front here, and then we got a Boss rider sitting in second. Who's that? Let's look at this. Ragged, edging it through the first sweeper in the Pro Open main. Oh, that's Brian Patterson prevailed. Miranda drifting outside of Brian, whooshed in for second. The wild man Frank Post on the yellow and black, fully back on the gas, finished a powerful third. Awesome. They said yellow and black. They didn't say Boss, which is kind of interesting, but he was rocking the Boss colors. Looks like Brent's back here. I can see him back here. And man, that's got to be Sean Texas. Look at the size of this dude. Greg's tucked here in the back. And then we've got Miranda over here on Factory CW. You can see his Gators right here with his red Vans. That's a great shot. I love it. Let's keep going. The Dominant Force GT. This is a great shot right here with the riders all in the dirt on the bottom with the barbed wire. Nice touch. And then we got here, I don't consider Miranda a threat. Never have, never will. Greg Hill. Wow, Greg. Now, I know that Bob Osborne liked to stir the pot with the pros and bring a lot of drama to the magazine. And you know, if you ask Greg, did you say that about Mike? He'll probably say, I probably did. I don't remember. That's so funny. Top eliminator in junior pro, Dave Marietti. Excuse me. Dave has looked tons better since moving up to pro. Check out his new plate. Wizard Plates, Not Publications, is Marietta's own company. Oh, very, very cool. Factory Talk Torquer as well. Love the Amy face mask. That looks super trick. Very, very cool. Let's keep going. All right, is it Billy Griggs? It sure is. Slip sliding away. Billy Griggs overcooked a power wheelie and dropped over the berm, but he's still looking down the track just in case he can save it. Very cool, because you can see his line of sight is still looking forward, even though his cruiser's starting to wash out. I actually own this cruiser, by the way. Very, very cool. Then here's your track. Here's your Chandler track. And this is kind of interesting because there's no first jump. And the thing is, at my local in Sunol, there was a period where they eliminated the first jump. And it was when I felt like I was at my peak because I didn't have to worry about getting good backside or speed jumping correctly on the first jump, because it was mainly just blasting to the first turn. A lot of guys didn't like it. I loved it. I felt like I was way more competitive that way. But let's take a look at the track anyway. Coming out of the gate, there is no first jump, but there is a drop off. So for a rider like me that tends to look down a lot, that's bad. You want to make sure you're looking up. I've fallen down many times from looking down and not looking straight up. You're going to drop down here into the first turn. Nice bank turn coming into the first speed jump. The second turn has basically kind of a step-up table that you can't jump in any way because it's turning kind of in a U-turn fashion. So you're going to speed jump up here, rail that berm, hop back down, and then hit a step jump into the next turn. Looks like there's some rough stuff right here. You got a very peaky step, like a speed jump in a sense. You're going to bonsai down and then work your way back up here, which is, again, does not really require any jumping. It's just a matter of making sure you speed jump over the top of that, get good backside, haul ass down through here, pull up through here, and then immediately turn right and then left. So it's kind of like a corkscrew going into the finish line. That track is awesome. I love it. Then the exit's right here. Technically, your finish is right there. That looks really fun to ride. Love it. What do we got up here? Heavy duty dicing with Mike Manell, number 65. And better have blue steel grip on those bars because he's about to get a big boost as Charlie blazes past. Chuck Manell's elbow. Oh yeah, he's got his elbow down here up against Charlie's knee. I'm pretty sure that wasn't intentional, but if it was, it's very cool. We got here Doug Davis styling his way through the S's, which is probably this. Doug doubled his 14 expert class, had the lead in the trophy dash, and bailed into the last turn. Sometimes you bite the bear, sometimes the bear bites you. All right, very, very cool. Okay, let's take a look at the pro finishes and see how everybody did in Chandler. AA Pro was won by Greg Hill. Joe Baumert picked up second. Scott Clark, Tommy Brackens, Clint Miller, Bob Madrano, Stu Thompson, and Toby Henderson. Pro Cruiser was won by Fred Hightower, Pete Lonkarovich, Brian Patterson, Dave Marietti again, Turnell Henry, Jeff Kosmala, Rob Fade, and Toby Henderson wrapped that one up. So we're looking pretty good. The Pro Open was won by Brian Patterson, Mike Miranda, and Frank Post. Mike Polson ended up winning 17X, and Gary Ellis won 16X. Richie Anderson won 15X. Doug Davis picked up the 14X win, and Danny Steplight picked up the 13X win. Very, very cool. Let me grab my charger, guys, because we're about to die. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just didn't want my phone die in the middle of this magazine. Great shot here of Richie Anderson, clean house on the 15 experts, running the factory Patterson colors with the 09. Scott, it looks like he's rocking the Tioga Competition 3s, which was the most epic tire ever, with the Skyway Tough Wheel graphites, and of course rocking the 09 pants, 09 gloves. Very, very cool shot. He's even got the 09 sticker holding up the visor. So instead of having the visorizer, the sticker did the job. We got the Zap Pad ad here. Star Bars. Star Products, which I believe was Greg Hill's father's company at the time. Okay, let's keep going. We got a, let's see, with Super Seals bottom bracket, you'll rule. We got a Hutch Rider in there. Rockville BMX, got Stu Thompson in that ad. And check this out, dedication or insanity. Troy Daniels messed up his hand in practice and couldn't hold on to the bars, so he duct taped his hand to the grips and raced anyway. Holy crap. That is insane. Here's your CW handlebars. CW handlebars ruled in the 80s, especially the early 80s. We got the Vector ad over here, and here comes the Haro race pants. I've mentioned many, many times I had these red, white, and blue ones. Loved them. Some of my favorite race pants ever. And it was the only pair of race pants that didn't even need to be fitted in any way. Like anytime I got new race pants, I feel like my mom had to do some alterations to make sure they fit me. The Haros just, I slipped them on and they fit like a glove. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. I was so happy when I got this for Christmas. We got the Thun Cranks ad, and that's Mike Buff in that ad. Lots of Pro Class wheel questions have been going on in our trivia contest, and a lot of people have said these were their favorite wheels ever. Here's your Kuwahara, the new Survivor 2.5 Kuwahara. Very, very cool. It still has the gusset, and it doesn't have the red line flights, so in the magazine itself, they tested the laser light, which would probably be the newer version of this bike. However, this one is very, very cool as well. Oh, look at this. The top freestyle, the top pros in freestyle. These guys are super preppy looking here. You got Bob Haro rocking the little tiny skinny tie. I remember using these things here. And I think that's Wilton. Yeah. And then we've got Eddie Fiola over here. And then who is the gentleman in the cowboy shirt? No idea who that would be. I'm going to have to read all these names. You've got RL, Mike, and then, of course, this gentleman here is, it's slipping, Romano, Pat Romano. Is that going to be that one? So, very, very cool. Look at Pat, man. He's super styling, man. Apparently, Eddie didn't get the memo to dress up. I'm just messing with you, Eddie. Very, very cool, man. I had these Vans, by the way, the blue and black ones that Eddie's wearing. All right, let's keep on rolling. Yeah, and it's showing all the top freestylers here, and we got Eddie right here. He's on a Kuwahara right there. Bob Morales, that's who it is. I'm sorry, Bob. Bob Morales. I believe he created the AFA, if I'm right. I believe that I am. That's a great shot of him there. Pat Romano. Pat with the crazy handlebars to do these types of ground tricks that he would do. He was kind of stood alone with that. Very, very cool. And Mike Buff jumping over the Porsche 911 back there. And check out their trick-ass Toyota pickup trucks. I think Mike and RL both had these lifted Toyota pickup trucks, the 4x4s. I always thought those were super, super cool, by the way. RL Osborne here. This is a great shot of RL right here, by the way. And I heard this guy could still rip it up. And, of course, Bob Haro right here, and right next to his brand new bike right here. So we're looking really cool. It's great sequences of Bob right here. This helmet he re-released a couple years ago. Oh, here we go. Ron Wilton. That's a great shot right there. Man, that's actually a very, very cool looking shot. I love it. Team Murray World Cup of BMX 2. $25,000 pro purse. Get out of town. That was June 25th and June 26th of 1983. Wow, guys. So much time has gone by. You know, I look at these magazines, and it always makes me happy to look at these magazines. It brings back a lot of memories, but it also makes me a little sad, too, when I go, golly, that was so long ago. You know, I really, truly miss these days. We got the great Schwinn Predator ad right here. This looks like a record album. I think I mentioned that before. And, of course, the iconic Profile Cranks ad that never, ever changes. Custom pants from BW Leathers. And the Soul of BMX. I remember this Vans ad. That's a great one right there. Vans stayed true to their colors, man. These things are pretty much the same shoe today. They have different variations of Vans that you can get now, and they have thicker soles and better support. But the overall general design of them is pretty much the same. Here, Larry ad here for Diacomp. And then, of course, the Johar grips. We got Mickey Lundy here with Race Incorporated Factory Team. Great shot. And guys, we're coming down to the end here. We got the Comp 3 tire there with a tube ad, California lights, O'Neill gloves. What is this? Rhino 3, the winning combination from Tioga. Wow. Was this Tioga's frame and fork? That's interesting. I didn't even know that existed. This is why I look in these history books, also known as magazines. It's a Gino ad, 09. Love it. And of course the Pro Class handlebars. MKS Graphite X pedals. Look at all the checkers from Flight. Man, checkers were the absolute rage. The Ukiah ad. ProCraft. This is a great looking frame and fork right here. A proven name and now available frame and fork, ProCraft. Wow, this is really forward on this one because look at it, even has the cable line welded in, the cable line holder right here, which is very, very modern. So that's really ahead of its time. That's awesome. I'm going to have to research that a little bit. And then that is it, guys. We did it. This is BMX Action, June 1983. I took a long time tonight. I haven't done a magazine in a while, guys. So if you stuck around, I really, really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. I will see you guys next week. We're going to jump into a race video. And again, as always, thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support. We're at 907, guys. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers. That has been my goal. Once I break 1,000, I know I'm going to set a new goal, but I'm getting so excited because we're getting close. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot.